Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins have once again proven that NFL trades aren't always just about the players involved, they're also about the money. When news broke that cornerback Jalen Ramsey was being shipped off to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the football world immediately perked up. Ramsey is a marquee name, a Super Bowl champion, and a defensive juggernaut, but as always, the number one rule in the NFL is to wait for the fine print before you get too excited or too critical, and now that the full details are rolling in, it's clear this blockbuster move wasn't just about getting talent in or out. It was a chess move in salary cap management. The Dolphins weren't simply offloading Ramsey. They were shifting financial priorities and maneuvering around a tight budget. This trade might offer a blueprint for how Miami plans to fill in the rest of the holes on their roster without sinking their financial ship. From the moment the Ramsey rumors began swirling, insiders hinted that Miami had been fielding interest from multiple teams. What most people didn't see coming, however, was the unique three-pronged nature of this deal involving not just Ramsey, but also tight end Jonnu Smith and safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. Pittsburgh had reportedly been eyeing Smith for a while Ramsey's departure from Miami seemed inevitable given his hefty contract. At first glance, combining both into a single trade looked like an executive masterstroke. But when you add in Fitzpatrick himself, a high-salary star, the financial gymnastics become a lot more complicated. This wasn't a straight player-for-player exchange. It was a delicate financial puzzle where every dollar mattered and no decision could be made in isolation. And here's the twist. Miami caved, but only a little. The Dolphins ended up paying an additional $3 million of Ramsey's salary to sweeten the deal, bringing their total offseason payout to the cornerback up to $7 million. While that might sound like a concession, it was a strategic one. By covering a portion of Ramsey's cost, they made him more attractive to Pittsburgh and increased the likelihood of finalizing a deal. This move shaved a massive $18.1 million off Miami's books, while allowing them to retool in other areas. On the surface, it looks like Miami gave up on one of the league's top corners. But in reality, they gained something just as valuable: flexibility, and that flexibility could be the secret weapon in their upcoming roster moves. Let's break it down. Before the trade, Ramsey was owed more than $21 million this season, and Smith was eyeing a raise from his $4 million base salary. The Dolphins liked Smith but weren't thrilled about paying him significantly more. They were even less interested in taking on Ramsey's full cap hit. The solution: share the cost with Pittsburgh. Get creative with Smith's new deal and bring in Fitzpatrick on a known value. Miami absorbed $15.5 million for Fitzpatrick, while dumping nearly $30 million in combined commitments between Ramsey and Smith. Even though Smith's raise could have been avoided, the Dolphins willingly took that on, suggesting they value what he brings to the offense and that they see a strategic opportunity with Fitzpatrick anchoring their defense. What's perhaps most interesting here is what the numbers tell us about Miami's thinking going forward. Their previous cash obligations for Ramsey and Smith were just over $22 million. With only $15.5 million in return salary coming back, Miami has effectively saved between $6.5 and $7 million in real cash. That's not just pocket change. In today's NFL, that kind of money can land you a solid veteran contributor, particularly at positions where depth is currently lacking, like cornerback or tight end. Miami may not be done wheeling and dealing, and this newly freed up budget might give them just enough breathing room to make another impact addition without breaking the bank. And don't forget, this isn't just a move about dollars and cents. It's about long-term roster strategy. Miami's approach this offseason has been notably conservative compared to years past. Gone are the splashy, win-now signings and headline-grabbing contracts. In their place is a measured, cap-conscious effort to build a sustainable roster that can compete now and still leave room for future flexibility. This trade fits that mold perfectly. They've offloaded expensive talent, acquired players they believe in, and maintained a cash flow that allows them to stay agile. And in the hyper-competitive AFC East, that agility might be the difference between playing in January or watching from home. This also gives us a clue about how Miami evaluates its own window of contention by trading Ramsey and still holding onto veteran caliber contracts like Fitzpatrick's. The Dolphins seem to be threading the needle between staying competitive and rebalancing their finances. They're not tearing things down, they're fine-tuning. Ramsey was a high-value asset, but he came at a high cost. Fitzpatrick offers comparable impact at a slightly lower price. Smith adds versatility to the offense. It's not a rebuild. It's a reshuffle with the goal of preserving the core, while smoothing out the edges. That subtlety could easily be missed if you just focus on the names involved and not the dollars behind them, of course. There's risk involved. Ramsey is still an elite player when healthy if he thrives in Pittsburgh. This trade might look lopsided in hindsight, but Miami is betting on more than just a decline curve. They're betting on the aggregate. If Fitzpatrick performs, if Smith fits in well with the offensive scheme, and if that $6.50 to $7 million savings helps them land a difference maker in free agency or via trade, the move could pay off big. It's the classic high floor, medium ceiling plan for a team that's been burned before by going all into fast. It might just be the smarter path from a fan's perspective. It's easy to get attached to names like Ramsey. He's a personality. He's a highlight machine. But NFL front offices have to think differently. They can't just collect stars. They have to manage cap sheets, maintain locker room chemistry, and plan for the unknown. Injuries happen. Contracts expire. Players regress. What Miami has done here is hedge their bets without surrendering their competitive edge. They've retained enough firepower to stay relevant, while creating just enough cap space to be opportunistic when the right player becomes available. It's a nuanced game, and this front office is playing it well. In the coming weeks, don't be surprised if Miami makes another move. That $6.50 to $7 million in savings is a breadcrumb trail to their next big decision. Whether it's a trade for a veteran cornerback, an addition at tight end, or even reinforcements on the offensive line, the Dolphins now have options. And in a league where most teams are handcuffed by their cap realities, options are a luxury. Miami's latest trade wasn't about waving a white flag, it was about repositioning for the next battle. And if you're reading the fine print carefully, you can see the outline of their strategy taking shape. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL world is buzzing today with an explosive rumor that could shake the AFC East to its core. Whispers are spreading fast that the Miami Dolphins have struck a deal with none other than Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans powerhouse, running back. Imagine the seismic shift this would bring to the Dolphins' offense, pairing Henry's bruising downhill running style with Miami's dynamic passing game. Although the franchise has yet to make an official announcement, sources close to the team hint that the star signing could be unveiled before the day is out. The potential impact of adding a player of Henry's caliber is immense, and fans are already speculating how this could transform the Dolphins into legitimate title contenders. The chatter has taken social media by storm, with analysts debating the strategic brilliance of Miami's front office, seemingly ready to pull off one of the biggest moves of the offseason. Derrick Henry, a two-time NFL rushing champion, has long been one of the most feared backs in the league. His combination of size, speed, and punishing running style makes him a nightmare for defenses to contain. For years, he carried the Titans on his back, delivering jaw-dropping runs and consistently racking up yards after contact. If the Dolphins do finalize this deal, it would mark a massive upgrade to their ground game, something they've sought to improve as they build around young quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Henry's presence could open up the play action and give Miami a legitimate weapon on the inside, balancing their offensive attack. The rumors suggest that the deal is structured to make Henry the centerpiece of Miami's offensive philosophy moving forward, signaling a major shift in team identity. Rumors suggest that the Dolphins have been quietly working behind the scenes to put together a contract that would entice Henry to join a franchise with serious Super Bowl aspiration. While Tennessee has been reluctant to part ways with their star running back, it appears Miami's offer was too good to resist. Combining guaranteed money with a strong chance at contending in a talented division, the Dolphins front office, known for their aggressive approach to free agency, may have outmaneuvered rivals in securing Henry's services. If true, this signing would represent one of the boldest moves in Miami's recent history, reminiscent of the blockbuster trades and signings that reshape entire NFL landscapes. Speculation is growing that the deal might include incentives tied to playoff success, underscoring Miami's belief that Henry could be the key piece missing in their championship puzzle. In terms of offensive fit, Henry's style perfectly complements Miami's already explosive receiving cores, led by star wideouts who thrive in open space. The bruising back would force defenses to respect the run in a way they haven't had to with Miami recently. This could lead to more manageable third downs and open up explosive plays downfield, allowing Tua to exploit mismatches. The synergy between Henry and Miami's offensive scheme could push the Dolphins from a playoff team to a legitimate Super Bowl favorite overnight. Rumors from insiders also hint at how the coaching staff has been tailoring game plans in anticipation of adding Henry, signaling they have been preparing for this possible acquisition for months. If these whispers are accurate, the Dolphins might have just landed the missing link for their championship blueprint. Speculation has also sparked intense debate about how the Dolphins will manage their roster with Henry's arrival. Henry commands a hefty salary and significant carries, which means Miami might need to adjust their depth chart and offensive rotation accordingly. Questions are swirling about which current running backs might be impacted or if the team will shift more resources toward offensive line reinforcements to maximize Henry's effectiveness. The Dolphins management is reportedly evaluating trade options or restructuring contracts to maintain flexibility under the salary cap. The magnitude of this potential signing is such that it will likely affect roster decisions across the board, not just on offense. The buzz suggests Miami is committed to building around Henry and Tua, betting heavily on a high-octane offense that balances power and precision on the defensive side. Analysts are pondering how this acquisition might influence Miami's overall strategy. A dominant running game often allows a defense to be more aggressive, forcing opponents into predictable passing situations. By controlling the clock and wearing down defenses with Henry's punishing running style, Miami could keep their defense fresher late in games. The synergy between a strong running game and a defense capable of capitalizing on turnovers is the hallmark of championship teams. The rumors hint that the Dolphins' leadership believes adding Henry will enhance not just their offense, but the entire team's dynamic. This could result in a more balanced and formidable squad, one capable of handling the physicality of playoff football and making a deep postseason run. The timing of this rumored signing also adds intrigue. Miami's front office seems poised to announce Henry's addition imminently, possibly to coincide with other offseason moves. This strategy would create a media frenzy and energize the fan base, who have been clamoring for a marquee signing. The buzz surrounding the potential announcement is palpable, with fans flooding social platforms with excitement and speculation. There's a sense that this could be a turning point in the Dolphins' franchise narrative, a moment when they fully embrace their championship aspiration. If the deal is confirmed today, it would undoubtedly dominate sports headlines and alter the landscape of the AFC East rivalry for years to come. Another angle fueling the rumor mill is how this move could affect the Titans. Losing Henry would be a seismic blow to Tennessee's offense, forcing them to pivot quickly and find new ways to generate consistent rushing production. The Titans may be exploring draft options or free agent signings to fill the void, but none can replace Henry's unique combination of power and stamina. This adds a layer of drama to the situation, as Miami's rumored acquisition could reshape not just their own fortunes, but those of a division rival. The ripple effects extend beyond the Dolphins, impacting strategies and future plans across the league. This makes the rumored signing not just a Miami story, but a potential league-wide game-changer. As the day progresses, the NFL community eagerly awaits confirmation of this blockbuster deal. The rumors have set social media ablaze, with countless fans and analysts dissecting every detail and projecting how Miami's season will unfold with Derrick Henry in the backfield. Whether it's breaking down potential offensive schemes or debating the impact on team chemistry, the excitement is palpable. If Miami's announcement does come today, it will mark one of the most significant free agent signings in recent memory. This would not only elevate Miami's profile, but also raise expectations for the upcoming season. The Dolphins could be on the verge of an electrifying transformation, positioning themselves as a true threat to any contender in the league. For now, all eyes are on Miami, waiting for that official confirmation. The buzz surrounding Derrick Henry's possible signing has injected new life into the offseason narrative and given Dolphins fans a thrilling reason to believe in their team's championship dreams. This rumor, if it turns into reality, might just be the spark that ignites Miami's quest for NFL glory. Whether it's a well-kept secret or a strategic leak, one thing is clear: the Dolphins are signaling that they are ready to play at the highest level, and Derrick Henry could be the cornerstone of that ambition. Stay tuned, because if this deal goes through, it could be the biggest story of the offseason and the beginning of something truly special in Miami. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins Fan, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up!